We then walked out onto the Via Dolorosa, the route that Jesus walked to Calvary. We wanted to get lunch right in the heart of the old city. What is it to be? Great local food.
Like, Rachel, what are you about to do?
I'm like,
You can't buy anything.
I thought you just told me to do that.
No, I said if you say those things, you can't do it.
Oh.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to go shopping while we wait for our food. And I'm going to bargain with them a little. They're going to think that I don't want it, so then I'm going to come running after me, and I'm just going to,
Not buy anything. She's gonna come here and eat, and then maybe we'll pass by later and they'll think they have a chance to offer her something cheaper. But then when she does want to buy it, with what money shall she buy it? How many shekels do you have?
2.
We sat outside the restaurant and enjoyed a glass of fresh pomegranate juice. Healthy.
Nate and Rachel are with me, and we're eating in this snack bar restaurant that I actually brought them to eat at 29 years ago. So we're going to try some falafel, some lamb kebabs, and some meatballs.
I'm hungry even looking at the food. As we ate, we were again able to experience life in this old city. Jews, Christians, and Muslims living together in a strange kind of harmony. I even met a fellow Yorkshireman who negotiated to buy Rachel.
Lovely. Is it not lovely? And I pay her 200 camel and a donkey.
Make it 2 donkey.
Then shopping again. A t-shirt perhaps. They didn't have my size. The ancient labyrinths of Jerusalem, and 2 cute twin sisters enjoying life. Precious. Interesting shops, not so busy today. Soon will be closing time. We walk through the Muslim and Christian quarters into the Jewish quarter and the Cardo shopping street. Upmarket stuff here. And then out past our favorite pizza place to Lion Gate. And a stroll down to the church of St. Peter Gallicantu, or the place where the cock crowed, to see another significant Christian site. This is reputed to be built over the house of Caiaphas, where Jesus was brought on the eve of his crucifixion, from where there are great views over the Mount of Olives, and one can see the notorious field of Akeldama, where Judas killed himself. The church itself is fascinating. It's one of the most important Christian sites on earth and a must-visit place for Christians. The crypt being the focus of this intrigue down below the church. As we walked down to the crypt, we passed another interesting sight, the ruins of ancient tithe vats, again evidence of its former use, and also ancient steps that would have been the route from Zion to the Mount of Olives and Bethany, that Jesus and the disciples would have walked many times. This is where it's believed that the courtyard of the house of Caiaphas was located, and has a statue of Peter denying Jesus, the fire of coals, and the steps up which Jesus would have been brought after his arrest. We then went back inside the church and down into the crypt. Here are some amazing sights. The dungeon where prisoners were kept and scourged. It's possible that this is where Jesus was whipped. Holes through which the hands were tied. Below, containers hewn out of the rock would have contained salt and olive oil. These were rubbed into the wounds of prisoners after the beating. The pit where Jesus was cast to fulfill prophecy. These excavations go back to 1889, and the discovery at that time of Byzantine crosses, coins and artifacts led archaeologists to believe there was a religious shrine here as early as the 5th century. The pit itself is clearly seen, and there would have only been one entrance to it at that time, at the top. There are now steps which enable visitors to descend, though there's much conjecture as to if this is the actual site of the house of Caiaphas. A number of things, however, are clear. This was used as a dungeon and used as a place of scourging. Byzantine crosses carved into the top entrance can still clearly be seen. To see this place is without doubt a very moving experience for Christians. We then drove from there to the Seven Arches Hotel for a meal and to enjoy what is without doubt the best and most famous view over the city. Inside the hotel brought back many memories. We actually stayed in a suite here, one of 4 that overlooks the city, when Nate and Rachel were small. The maitre d' was kind enough to actually let us sit where we sat all those years ago.
What is now known as the Seven Arches. When I was last here to stay 29 years ago, it was called the Intercontinental, overlooking Jerusalem, and we're almost in the same table, just the next table to what we ate in 29 years ago and watched the sun go down. And it's been a nice buffet meal here, and very enjoyable.
We then drove to Zion Gate, past the Tomb of David, and into the Old City. We wanted to get Rachel a birthday present from a shop near the Jaffa Gate. The last thing we did before jumping in the car and exploring Masada was to celebrate Rachel's birthday. Then it was Masada. Here we come. Next on Exzion, we drive down to the Dead Sea and visit the ancient site of Masada, an amazing fortress atop a hill, up the cable car to the top, history all around, and spectacular views.